Hey guys, good afternoon. It is John C. Morley here, serial entrepreneur. Welcome to Inspirations for Your Life. I'm so happy you decided to join me. Today, it is Monday, the start of the week, June 16th, 2025. I hope all the fathers had a great, relaxing, wonderful, appreciated Father's Day. And we're going to get with the show in just a minute, but our master topic is wisdom for life, growth, truth, and connection. And today's granular topic is embrace challenges as growth opportunities. Series 4, Show 25, and yes, episode number 3. Hey guys, if you haven't checked out believemeachieve.com, what are you waiting for? Go check that out right after this show. I'm sure you're going to find lots of long and short form content that I'm sure will not only inspire you, but get you to become a better version of yourself. All right, everyone. So great to be with you. And if you're thirsty, by the way, hey, go get yourself something to drink. Maybe it's a water, maybe it's a snack. I know I'm going to go grab myself here my RO water I just got. So go ahead and grab yourself something delicious, something hot, something cold. I just had these new sandwich pockets. They were really pretty cool. Had a little bit of spice to them. There was like a chicken, and it was like maybe a minute. It was from the Sandwich Pro guys. It was really, really good. I got them at BJ's, and they were really, really good. But anyway, let's have you get that and hurry on back. So welcome, everyone, to another insightful episode of the Inspirations for Your Life podcast. I am your host, John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur, not only a podcast host, but also a podcast coach. And yes, video producer and many other things, an engineer and an advocate for transforming challenges into stepping stones. Now, life doesn't come with a manual, unfortunately. I've been still looking for it. I mean, I haven't found one yet. If you find it, let me know. But it does come with messages. And those messages are often hidden in the challenges we face today. Today's episode is a wake-up call for anyone who feels stuck, overwhelmed, or unsure of their next step. I'm going to show you how challenges are not obstacles that are meant to crush your spirit. They're powerful invitations designed to elevate your mindset, stretch your limits, and call forth your potential. Whether you're facing adversity at work, in your relationships, or within yourself, this episode will inspire you to lean in, rise up, and reframe your struggles as sacred opportunities for growth. Let's dive deep, everyone, shall we? And flip the script. That's right, I said flip the script. I know it sounds funny. Flip the script on what it means to truly succeed. And it's not what you think it means. Number one, challenges are life's hidden lessons. Yes, they are. When we're in the middle of a tough situation, it's only natural for us to want out very fast. But what if every challenge wasn't something going wrong, but something going right? Life is constantly trying to teach us, but most people are too busy avoiding discomfort to notice. Every difficulty carries a hidden message crafted just for you. Maybe it's building patience, compassion, resilience, or clarity. And these lessons aren't random, they're necessary. I've learned through personal and professional hardships that the biggest breakthroughs often come wrapped in the most inconvenient packaging. When you embrace a challenge with openness, you transform it from a problem into a professor that can help you. And start looking at your struggles as personalized master classes. Well, that's a real caveat for your next level of life. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. So it's how we perceive life to how we evolve in life. I think that's something that a lot of people don't realize, but you can actually do that. Number two, shift from victim to victor mindset. Wow, John. One of the most profound transformations we can experience is moving from a why is this happening to me mindset to what can I create from this perspective? What can I learn from this? Living in victim mode means believing that life is happening to you. Living as a victor means realizing life is happening through you. That's a big difference. And ultimately for you. So when I face challenges or loss in the past, rejection or failure, I've had a choice: stay in the blame game mode or rise into responsibility mode. The difference between people who grow and those who stay stagnant is the ability to take ownership, not of what happened, but of how they respond. True victory starts not in the external world, but in your internal dialogue. You're not powerless, ladies and gentlemen. You are powerful beyond measure. But that truth only activates when you own your story instead of outsourcing your strength. Number three, guys, discomfort equals progress. I've said this before. Comfort is not where success is going to be found. All right. It's not. It's going to be found somewhere else where it's going to be, yes, uncomfortable. So I think that's important to understand. So let's get one thing clear. If it's uncomfortable, you're probably on the right path. I didn't say pain, I just said uncomfortable. Progress doesn't feel smooth. It feels awkward. It feels funny. It feels weird, right? It's like writing with your non dominant hand, right? That feels so awkward, uneasy, and often sometimes terrifying. But just like muscles grow through resistance, so does your character. The discomfort you feel isn't a red flag, it's a sign of expansion. Think back to any time in your life when you truly grew. Was it during a lazy, easy season? I think not. Probably not. It was actually when you were pushed, stretched, and maybe even scared. Discomfort is where your edges are reached. And sometimes, again, a time when you're fearful of them. It's where you meet parts of yourself that have been waiting to come alive. So instead of retreating when things get tough, lean into it. That tension, it's your future self knocking. Why don't you answer the door? I think you'll be pleasantly surprised at what you're going to find. So definitely check that out, guys. That's really important. Number four, use resistance as a compass. Here's an interesting idea. We often think resistance is a reason to stop. But what if resistance is actually guidance? The places where you feel blocked, hesitant, or triggered are often the exact places you're meant to grow. Resistance shows up not to say, don't go there, but there's something important here. Whether it's tough, like a conversation you're avoiding, a goal you keep procrastinating over, or a decision you're afraid to make. That resistance isn't random, guys. It's revealing the areas where your soul is calling for expansion. I've learned to see resistance as a compass. The more uncomfortable things feel, the more likely it holds treasure. Don't fight it, follow it. There's wisdom, guys, on the other side. So be brave and explore it. Number five, confidence comes through conquering. Confidence isn't gifted, it's earned. And the currency, courage. Every time you face a fear, show up anyway or stretch yourself past what you thought you could do, like pushing the envelope just a little bit further. You deposit into your confidence bank. People often wait until they feel confident to act, but in truth, it's the action that creates the confidence. You become confident by proving to yourself that you can do hard things, whether it's public speaking, starting a business, asking for help, or simply standing up for yourself. Each courageous choice makes you stronger. I found that the moments I've grown the most in confidence were the moments I was the most sacred, but still move forward. Confidence is a muscle, guys, and every challenge is a chance to build it. So why not start doing that? Number six, reframe failure as feedback. Wow, that's a real powerful one, John. It really, yes, it is. Failure gets a bad rep all the time, but failure simply is feedback. It's the world saying, not this way, try another way. It doesn't say give up, it says try something different. It's not a dead end, but a data point. When we detach our self worth from our results, we gain the freedom to try, fail, adjust, and try again with new parameters, I should say. Some of my best business strategies were born from what didn't work the first time. The difference is I didn't stop, I studied. When you treat failure as feedback, you remove the shame and keep the momentum. Think of toddlers learning to walk. They fall hundreds of times, but never question their ability. Why should you? Every misstep is a teacher, folks. Learn the lesson, adjust the method, and move forward smarter and stronger. What are you waiting for? Number seven, your story will inspire others. And I know that sounds hard, but it's really the truth, guys. Your journey is messy, it's raw, it's triumphant. Is someone else's roadmap? Well, maybe not really. We often hide our struggles, thinking they make us, well, let's see, they basically make us feel different, right? And weak. but it's actually our vulnerability that connects us. The battles you've overcome aren't just for you, they're for others too. When you share how you made it through, you shine a light for someone else still stuck in the dark. I can't count how many times a listener or a friend told me, I need to hear that today, John. Not because I shared a perfect story, but because I was real. Never underestimate, guys, the power of your voice, your growth, and your healing power. Someone is waiting to be inspired by your courage. Why don't you share it? Gratitude, guys. Gratitude is really important. And I consider it a bonus mindset multiplier. Gratitude isn't just something you do when life is good. It's something you choose, especially when it's not. It's a powerful lens that reframes chaos into clarity. When you cultivate gratitude, not just for the good, but for the lessons in the hard parts, you unlock a mindset that transforms every single experience into a gift. Gratitude grounds you, centers you, and reminds you that even in the middle of the storm, there's still something worth appreciating. Start small. Be grateful for the breath in your lungs, the opportunity to grow, the strength to rise each day. Gratitude isn't passive, folks. It's powerful. It is quite literally the fuel that keeps your spirit resilient and your perspective aligned. Wow, John, that was a mouthful. It was more than a mouthful. It was probably a couple mouthfuls. This is one of the most favorite parts of the show that I like. And you know what I do in this part of the show for those of you that are coming for the first time? Well, I'm going to tell you what I do here. So I'm going to go ahead right now and give you some personal stories or lessons, one for each point. Why am I doing this? Because I feel that when I make it something realistic, something you can relate to, you're much more likely to take action in your life. Wow, John, that's very powerful. I know. So it's my hope that you're going to listen to what I'm saying and you're going to choose to respond to this in a very, very unique way. And that way is to choose to be the best you can. Wow. So that's an important thing, guys. It's definitely an important thing. And I want to tell you that it's these things that literally can make or break you. They're not supposed to scare you, but they are supposed to motivate you, right? They're supposed to motivate you. And if they motivate you, then, well, that's going to change your life. It's going to change who you are. All right. So without any further ado, guys, you know what I want to do? I want to get right into these lessons because they are really juicy, and I think they are going to inspire you more than you ever dreamed possible. Are you ready for number one? I know I am. All right. Well, number one aligns with our first point. Challenges are life's hidden lessons. I remember a time early in my entrepreneurial journey when I invested months of time and energy into a major partnership with a company. When I invested months of time and energy into this major partnership that completely collapsed just a few months before its launch. I was devastated. I questioned everything, my judgment, my vision, even my worth. But in the stillness that followed the fallout, I began to realize something. That deal had red flags. I ignored because I was so eager for growth and to be part of this software company that I didn't look at the writing on the wall. I was just so anxious to get involved with somebody. The collapse wasn't life punishing, but it was life protecting me. That challenge taught me discernment, patience, and the importance of trusting my gut and making sure that when I do a partnership with a software company, that I make sure it's good before I, upheaval everything that we're going to use to run our books. Looking back now, that setback was one of my greatest teachers. What I thought was a detour turned into I would say divine direction. Although a lot of people would be frustrated for all the time they spent, but I'm grateful for it. Number two, shift from the victim to victor mindset. A few years ago, I was unfairly criticized in a professional setting, blindsided by someone I thought supported me. At first, I spiraled into a little bit of anger and frustration internally. Why would this happen to me? But then I paused and asked myself a better question. What is this teaching me about who I am and who I want to be? That moment flipped a switch in my head. I took the experience as fuel, not failure. I began to show up differently, more grounded, more assertive, and more intentional with my boundaries. I stopped seeing myself as someone life happened to, and instead as someone life was preparing. That shift, ladies and gentlemen, changed everything in my life. Number three, discomfort equals progress. I know everybody wants everything to be easy. I know. I know that's what we want, but we don't learn when things are easy, right? We don't learn when they're easy. When I started public speaking, in more in the keynote fashion, I was a little bit terrified, even though I love to speak. My first talk, let's just say, was a little bit rough. Sweaty palms, shaky voice, and fumbling my opening line, but I didn't quit. I kept showing up. Each speech pushed me out of my comfort zone and stretched my belief into what I could handle. You see, I had never spoken in front of thousands of people before. I was used to speaking before 10, 20, 30, 40, 1, 2, or even a couple hundred, but not thousands. So that was a different mindset. Now I don't mind speaking to one or even a million or a billion people. Slowly, discomfort became less of a threat and more of a signal that I was growing. Now, speaking is one of my passions, but it only became that because I was willing to sit with the discomfort until it turned into confidence. Growth never comes wrapped in comfort, guys. It comes dressed as resistance. So make sure you understand how to approach it, because if you don't, well, you're going to miss some really, really big opportunities. And I would hate for that to happen to you. Number four, use resistance as a compass. Years ago, I kept delaying launching a podcast. I told myself I was too busy. It wasn't ready yet. It wasn't the right time. I needed better equipment. But the truth was, I was scared. Resistance was strong, and that's how I knew it mattered. When I finally acknowledged the fear and learned to lean in, everything changed. The resistance wasn't trying to stop me, it was revealing what mattered most to me. Today, my podcast reaches many people around the world. And I've started a second one, and I'm a co host on a couple other shows. And so, if I listened to my hesitation instead of leaning into it, I wouldn't have gone anywhere. Resistance isn't a wall, it's a signpost. So pay attention to it, guys, because that sign wants you to take the right direction. It's not there to scare you. But I think a lot of people, they see the sign and they think a caution sign means stop. It just means it's time to check things out. It's time to make sure, are you on the right journey? Does that make sense? Hopefully. I want you to understand, everyone, that this may not always be easy. Confidence comes through conquering. The first time I pitched a big client, I was nervous as you know what. My voice trembled. I doubted every word before it left my mouth, but I pushed through anyway, and I landed the deal. Not because I was the most polished, but because I showed up with heart and passion. And that single act of courage gave me a confidence boost that no pep talk could ever have. Confidence isn't built in the background, it's forged in the fire. Every moment you face fear and act anyway, you tell yourself, I've got this. And over time, you start to believe it. I know that's not easy. Does that make sense? And I know you're probably saying it's a lot to understand, but you can do this, guys. You really can. I hope that means something to you guys. The next thing I want to talk about is reframing failure as feedback. Does that make sense? I hope it does. Reframe failure as feedback, guys. Okay? Reframe failure as feedback. I once launched a product that flopped, and I've talked about this before. It was called ATG, Alarms to Go. I had the first idea to come up with a wireless alarm system. I completely missed the mark. Not because I had the wrong product, because I trusted too many people, because I didn't get legal advice right away, because someone else stole my idea and it was in the market at the same time I was selling mine. I could have labeled this a failure and buried it, but instead I did something different. I reached out to my audience and asked what they wanted. I also realized it wasn't my audience, it was me for being so proud to talk about to other people. And unfortunately, I was so happy about it that I was sharing it before it was properly protected. I tweaked offers, adjusted messages, and released newer things, but now I made sure that I didn't share things too early. And I was very humble, but I got crushed. I got crushed. And that crush is something that I think a lot of people don't realize, but you have the potential. Okay? You have the potential. Number 7, your story inspires others. Your story inspires others. I once shared a very personal story on my show about a time I battled with self doubt and nearly walked away from a dream. I just hesitated before airing it. Would people think less of me? But the opposite actually happened. Messages started pouring in. Thank you, John. I'm going through the same thing you were. Your story gave me hope, inspiration. And I've said this before, hope is the fuel that will keep your motivation alive. And motivation will keep you going and taking action. That was the moment I realized our stories don't isolate us, they unite us. Your struggles, when shared with love and honesty and humility, become someone else's survival guide. Don't hide your humanity. Let it be your greatest gift. And I know that sounds like something hard, but it's something you can do it. You can do a lot of things, but you have to believe in yourself. And I think that means a lot. But sometimes we don't necessarily get what we're looking for immediately. Somebody said to me, John, we get what we need, not what we're looking for. And that can be hard for some people to understand. Does that make sense, everyone? I hope so. Gratitude is a mindset multiplier. There was a season in my life where things felt heavy. Business was slow. Relationships were strained. And uncertainty kind of loomed over my head. One morning, instead of spiraling, I started a new habit. I wrote down 3 things I was grateful for every day. Some days it was just my morning cup of tea or the sun peeking through the blinds. But something shifted. I started seeing beauty even in the chaos. That gratitude became my anchor. It reminded me that storms pass, but perspective stays. When you train your mind to see blessings, even in burdens, you unlock a power no circumstance can steal. Does that make sense, everyone? I hope it does. And I hope you can realize that challenges are going to come up in your life, despite what you want, okay? And I've said this before, guys. It's not that the challenges are going to come up in your life. It's how you choose to respond to them that shapes your character, that defines whether somebody wants to be in your circle or not. And I think we have to look at things, okay? Um, I think if you understand like what's happening, then maybe you can understand what's going on. Maybe. Just maybe. Maybe that'll lead you to something. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. But one thing it's going to do is it's going to give you a perspective in life to be different than where you are. So I hope this episode has opened some ideas for you. I hope. And maybe you'll choose to respond differently because of this. Maybe. But then I know, ladies and gentlemen, that you might be saying to me, John, like, I don't understand why this is happening a certain way. And so things happen a certain way because of where we are in life at the current moment. And I think that's something that's hard for a lot of people. Um, it's very hard because some people just don't get it. And what I want to share with you is that embracing who you are and knowing how to live through these challenges is what allows us to see our greatest magic, our ability to be a divine creator. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur. Do check out BelieveMeAchieve.com for more of my amazing, inspiring creations. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll catch you guys real soon. Be well, everyone.